My connection to principles of interdisciplinary learning and teaching. So let's talk about why I'm here. I'm pursuing a Master's of Arts in Education with a focus on instructional technology. The reason for going back to school was to advance my knowledge of instructional technology so that in the future I could possibly obtain a position as a technology coordinator on my campus. I'm also interested in curriculum design with an influence of technology. At my previous school, I was an unofficial technology coordinator, and I helped with professional development and worked with teachers individually to incorporate technology in their classrooms. I developed a true passion for this, and I decided to go back to school to learn more. Each of the themes in this course will help me in my pursuit of not only my degree, but my future career goals. The themes from this course include educational enterprise in the U.S., interdisciplinary learning, social justice, learning theories, and diverse learner populations. The theme of education enterprise will help my pursuit in finding a deeper understanding of instructional technology by providing a better knowing of the nature and purpose of education in the U.S. and what needs to be done to ensure that all students receive a fair and equal education based on their needs. The theme of interdisciplinary learning and teaching, woven throughout this course, provides an explanation of its significance to educational practices and how learners can achieve a better education with interdisciplinary concepts implemented in the curriculum. As an instructional coordinator, interdisciplinary learning is a vital aspect of integrating technology into core subjects to explore, engage, and extend learning. Another theme that is vital to my pursuit of furthering my education is social justice in education. This theme has enabled me to think critically when it comes to the implication of social justice on all aspects of education and how this affects student learning and achievement. It also allowed me to look at education through a different viewpoint that enabled me to open my eyes to a wider perspective of all diverse learners. This course provided an in-depth exploration of major learning theories incorporated in today's educational curriculum and practice, including Skinner's behaviorism, Piaget's cognitism, Vygotsky's social constructionism, Leib and Wagner's situated learning, Papert's constructionism, and Knoll's andragogy. I was able to think critically and compare and analyze the different learning theories and how they would apply to my educational practice. I realized I have a true affinity with situated learning and constructionism, but I understand that all of these theories can be utilized in a particular context to ensure that I can meet my students' needs. Another major theme that benefits my career goals is the exploration of diverse learner populations and the different pedagogies needed to meet these learners' needs in a 21st century classroom. I was able to see a window into the extreme diversity of our learners and brainstorm ways in which, as a technology coordinator, I could be responsive to the needs of these learners. Let's look at the course objectives. The objectives of this course are as follows. Recognize the socio-political nature of education. Explain key aspects of foundational theories in interdisciplinary learning and teaching. Evaluate the ways in which key theories are manifested in diverse educational contexts. And assess how applications of key foundational theories meet the needs of diverse learners. Let's take a closer look at each of these objectives. The socio-political nature of education is influenced by society, educational funding, and political policies that have been made based off of educational reform and historical events. In the past, we have seen this shift in socio-political nature of education because of desegregation, the Civil Rights Movement, and the Individuals of Disability Education Act. Now we have super hot topics like the LGBTQ rights, high-stakes testing, and the concept of resegregation based on socioeconomic status and race, and the reevaluation of No Child Left Behind. Ladston Billings explains a concept of the achievement gap in relationship to the national budget and deficit. She argues that the current plans in place are only attacking the deficit and aren't even touching the debt or achievement gap. of marginalized populations. Even with reforms like No Child Left Behind, we are still seeing huge disparities in funding per child based on the district and socioeconomic status of the community within the district. Throughout this course, we have discovered how learning is truly interdisciplinary and lends itself towards an organic type of learning experience. The key aspects of interdisciplinary learning, including striving to meet the needs of all diverse learners, because as our population grows, our society becomes more and more diverse, which means so do our students. Technology integration is another key aspect of interdisciplinary learning and teaching. Our students are immersed in technology and we are becoming a digital society, but as educators, we must be critical in determining the quality, quantity, and validity of the technology being integrated in the education. The final aspect I find vital answers the need of education to compartmentalize content, curriculum, and even learners into very narrow fields that can actually limit the ability to make connections across disciplines and create hurdles to the understanding of core content. Interdisciplinary learning can bridge content to permit learners to make connections and solve complex problems that will help them prepare to be functioning and successful members of society. No learner learns the same as another learner. This means that there are many educational contexts that need to be provided to these different learners to provide an education to meet their needs and enable them to be successful. In education system, we see behaviors theory being used. For adult learners, we see andragogy theory that is being applied, and in math and science, we are seeing a lot of constructionism being used. So, how do we take everything we've learned in this course and use it to move forward and grow in our personal journeys? It starts with being aware of our strengths and weaknesses when it comes to understanding our pedagogy and how we implement learning theories in our classrooms. For my personal journey, I see that I would like to work on implementing a situated learning environment to create a collaborative learning environment that would enhance students' engagement and their levels of discussion. The more immersed into real-world situations, the more students will be able to discuss and construct solutions to problems presented in our school and community. Another goal for my classroom is to incorporate more social justice literacy in my curriculum. I want my students to be more aware of issues happening in our world and community and decide what power we have in order to change it. Finally, I want to find more ways to incorporate interdisciplinary learning into my everyday classroom. The reason for this is to create more cohesive curriculum so that my students can make connections between disciplines and be more engaged in those disciplines than they normally would shy away from. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. All photos were purchased and edited by me using vectorstock.com or canstockphotos.com unless otherwise credited in the presentation. Thank you.